Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. I don't know why I just paused there, Sagittarius. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, Sagittarius. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance for that. Sag, I don't know why, I just that was like a weird pause that I took there, almost as if I was hesitating, like, am I reading for Sag? Even though I knew I was reading for you. It was very weird. So I hope you all are doing well. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe you're feeling a little frazzled when you come to this reading. I didn't feel frazzled until I turned on the camera, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh. We're doing your reading today with the Muse Tarot, and we're getting an overall energy from the Elemental Oracle. So, Spirit, what do we have for Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus? Sagittarius, please. Okay, the equator, to make equal. This is a very fascinating and potentially problematic card. It's the number 5, so go figure. Anybody who's watched me read tarot knows that I'm not a big fan of the 5s. And I'm not a big fan because 5s are all about limbo energy. It's just kind of a 5. It's just kind of there. We're stuck in it until we're not anymore. This one feels a little trickstery. I'm thinking of like the 5 of Swords or the 5 of Wands. It's kind of like they're two halves of you trying to figure something out, you know, but in a way it's like this one is taking comfort in the shadow energy. It's like the shadow and the light. We need both. We have both for a reason. Also reminds me of, sorry, there's a very big truck that's barreling down the street right now, interrupting your reading so rudely. Maybe something's bearing down on you. Reminds me of the Justice card, which is Libra energy. You could have a Libra prominent in your chart, but maybe there has been an imbalance in your life as of late, and you're trying to navigate that space. Take it as it resonates. Hopefully, Spirit will reveal more. 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards of clarifier, and we'll pull more if I need to. Hope you all are surviving the eclipses we've been having, and we'll continue to have later this month. It's coming up soon, lunar eclipse. Okay, you got 2 extra cards here, but I'm going to take it. So, past, present, future, and advice from Spirit. Your past energy, you got the Ace of Voices or the Ace of Swords. This talks about some kind of great clarity coming in for you. Maybe a secret was revealed. That's really strange because I wouldn't necessarily say it had to be a secret. Maybe it was simply information that you received, but I said secret. It's almost like this owl, this snowy owl is coming in. You know, I watched a video that scientists were having owls fly through air that was filled with bubbles and filming it so that they could watch the wind current underneath the wingspan of the owl to try and understand its flight pattern, its flying habits, and its physicality. It's amazing that scientists don't already know what they need to know about it, but they're still looking at it every day. But it's almost like they're showing me that video and reminding me that when owls fly, they're very silent. They don't make a lot of sound. They only make sound when they're like hooting and hollering and sitting still, but they don't make sound when they fly. So it's almost like something is coming in very silently, a revelation, an epiphany. An epiphany is what they just said. Right into the crown chakra. The world cosmos, the world card, major arcana, number 21, in the reverse. Something having to do with a chapter still lingering. You're trying to close out a chapter in your life. Maybe you're trying to move on. I just heard in my mind somebody say that they just can't wait till the year is over. You know, it's only, right now I'm filming this in October. Doesn't matter, tarot is timeless, so you could be watching this next year or in the future. But there's something here that's just like you're waiting for a certain time period to come to an end. Maybe it's a contract that you have with the job. You're on location for that job and it's only, you know, like a 2-year, 3-year contract, and you're just like, you know, I just can't wait till this is over. I can't wait to go back home. I can't wait to have a change of scenery. It's strange. It's like sort of realistic in that image of the earth, but not. Looks more kind of like an amalgamation, like a Pangea kind of restructuring of the continents. It's like all over the place. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that doesn't make any sense. Secrets, jigsaw puzzles, there's a lot of you see this, it's like there's a lot of whispers. Whispering. It's not gossip. It's not the same as gossip. It's like the whispering of your inner core, your guidance system, your intuition is whispering something to you, right? This deck, the swords are called voices. Ace of voices. Something is eating away at you. Asking for a clarifier now. 3 of emotions, does it have to do with a friendship group? 3 of emotions, 3 of cups typically talks about a celebration of some kind. It's not a negative card, and if we, you know, choose not to look at tarot in negatives and positives, but clearly I just did. There could be a lot of voices happening. In another reading, I looked at this card as like past, present, and future. But it could be just versions of your inner psyche talking to you. See how closely everything is? It's like everything's just so in close proximity. The characters are in close proximity, almost a little too close. Like, it's uncomfortable. I don't like people to stand this close to me. Like, I like to hug people and like whatever, but if they're just standing this close to me, it's like close stalker. Like, you don't need to stand so close. This is the feeling that I'm getting from your reading. You don't need to stand so close. I got it. I hear you. I got it. They're holding versions of the moon in their hands. The crescent shaped, the full moon here, this imagery here. So again, whenever we see the moon is a major arcana card in the tarot. Major arcanas, first 22 cards of the tarot deck, which are big, divinely guided energies. The minor arcana finish out the tarot, and they're all the energies that you and I can affect in the material world, in the 3D realm. So, but with the moon, there were some things that were kept from you for a reason, is what Spirit just said. But now it's coming to light. You're hearing it. You're sensing it. You're feeling it. This was in a past energy. So in your present energy, it's almost like a reflection of what you're doing with that information. Muse of Materials. Muse of Materials is the King of Pentacles in this deck. And all the muses, all the kings have horizontal layouts, which makes it cool. You know, I call this like the landscape setting. See that you're walking kind of alone on this bridge. It's almost like spirit guides on either side to help you along. It's like showing you the way, like leading the path. Muse of Emotions. Muse of Materials, King of Pentacles, is somebody who is stable, abundant, generous, has a plan, not as strategic as the King of Swords, but has a game plan all the same. A directionality, you know where you're headed to. There's only one option. It's a nice option, but there's only one right now. And 6, clarified by the 6 of Voices in the reverse. 6 of Voices, 6 of Swords talks about moving from choppy waters to calm waters, like overcoming, like I see these as kind of stakes or spikes, and it's kind of like spirit is holding you on their hand and guiding you, right? There's a band called Guided by Voices that just popped into my head. Maybe you like that band. That's an old band. That's a band I listened to over 20 years ago. Guided by Voices. I just heard that in my head. That was a very strong and specific example or message. So in the reverse, it's almost as if there is this hesitation as you walk across this bridge to what could potentially be abundance. Could potentially be your abundance. But there's a hesitation here to move on from what you've known. Let's ask her, what is this talking about, Spirit? Clarifier. Oh, kind of did a little flip on the table. You got the Page of Voices. Page of Voices is the Page of Swords. So this card, they often refer to it, they, meaning other tarot readers, often refer to it as the little spy of the tarot. Now, you know, take that as it resonates. You could be just looking at someone's social media or their LinkedIn page. That's a favorite. Let's see what their LinkedIn page is, if that's a little bit less creepy. But, you know, we've all done it. We've all looked at other people's Instagrams or whatever, or, you know, is it just me? So Page of Voices is a curiosity energy. Doesn't mean there's anything nefarious going on, but you're looking more closely at something. But it's a immature energy. It doesn't have a lot of sophistication. Why am I tripping over my words? I just saw a truck that drove by, and the top of the truck, the back of the truck said, "If you're going drinking," and I didn't see the rest because it drove by so quickly. If you're going drinking. You know, sometimes this can be the card of celebration. It can be a card of clinking glasses. If you're going drinking. Be careful what happens. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you do. Not sure. Take that as it resonates. There's a lot of swirling energy here. You see, even these characters look like they're dancing, right? If you're going drinking, if you're going dancing, if you're going partying, you may have your eye on someone, or someone may have their eye on you. I don't necessarily see anybody saying anything, though. You know, I'm going to ask Spirit for another card, because now I'm curious. Do you have somebody kind of in the background who has taken a fancy to you? Got the Hanged Muse in the reverse. The Hanged Man in the upright is somebody who, see how there's like a kind of third eye energy at the top of this pyramid, which also reminds us of, or at least reminds me of the back of, I believe, the US dollar. There's a pyramid with an eye in it, often attributed to Freemasonry and the mystics and the Illuminati, all that jazz. Hanged Muse is somebody who takes themselves out of a situation to look at it more rationally, to look at it with a more cool, calm, and collected head. But you got this card in reverse, so it's almost just like saying, like, I feel as though you know who this is, and I feel as though you're going to confront them about it. I see a very, very specific image in my mind. It's a memory. And it has to do with somebody that I had feelings for. And instead of just dancing around the issue, shall we say, I danced around it a little bit, and then I just like went straight for it and said, hey, what's up? What's going on between us, right? Didn't get the outcome that I wanted, but at least I knew where I stood, because there was some confusion there, right? Life is too short to just be in a will they, won't they mentality. The King of Pentacles, the Muse of Materials, they're not in a will they, won't they mentality. They're walking forward, with or without you. Beautiful U2 song, With or Without You. Take that as it resonates. I can't live with or without you. That took a really interesting turn. I don't think that this has anything to do with whatever revelation this was, unless it does. You have to take it as it resonates, but now Spirit was saying, oh, wait a minute, and then I was like, oh, and I just regretted saying that. There could be, in this past energy, you were trying to close out a cycle with a past love, and now, you know, when you try to close that out, something new pops up on the surface for you. But it's not completely closed yet. There's some healing that needs to happen. And there could be some chitter chatter with the friend group. Take it as it resonates. Sag, it doesn't feel scandalous though. I don't get that like, ooh, gossip, scandal feeling. I feel like it's just, I mean, Sag, you're kind of doing your own thing. You're trying to create some peace and balance in your life, and you're like, I almost feel annoyed. The feeling I get from it is just like, I don't have time for this. I'm the King of Pentacles. Like, I have a path and I'm trying to walk it, and all of this silliness is getting in the way. Because in a way, I don't know why, but this reminded me of like a trampoline energy, and like the sound when you bounce, it's like boing, 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 like kind of comical. She looks kind of comical. The whole thing kind of feels like, in your energy right now, I just feel like this is silly. I'm really trying to heal and close out a cycle that is no longer serving me, and it's difficult because it's hard to let go, trying to move on, and then this comes along. And you know what? It's like, I've been actually hearing the echoes of this sentiment in a few tarot readings that I've been watching myself, because of course I watch tarot, right? That, you get to a point of your self-actualization, self-awareness, and you think, okay, I've done the healing. I'm confident in myself. I've up-leveled. I've created abundance. I have manifested, and I've isolated out people that are not good for me. I'm only surrounding myself with high vibe energy, etc., etc. And then you try to like close out a chapter and like, okay, I'm gonna move on, and then it just seems like the universe throws in a wrench into the system to test you. Are you sure? And that's really frustrating. Spirit, I'm gonna say it right now, it's frustrating. And I feel as though this is the energy that you're in, but it's kind of like, are you sure? The shadow energy, are you sure? You sure you don't want to go that way? It's okay if you don't want to, just want to make sure. Just want to confirm. I mean, look at where the other hand is. It's like tapping on the ear, hello. It's temptation. It feels like a little bit of temptation energy. But it's what, that 5, right? It's what keeps you stuck. It's what keeps this from turning around. It's world energy. So in the future potential, you got the Hermit in the reverse and the Queen of Materials. So now we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles, of materials. That's a divine match. Could simply be you and your higher self, you and your shadow self, the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you. The Hermit in reverse talks about coming out of a phase of isolation and hibernation. The idea being that you went through your dark night of the soul, that you looked at inner child wounds, traumas, triggers, and you're working your way through it. And Spirit is showing me that you've done that work and that you are ready to, or you think you're ready to kind of come out of hiding. That's what I just heard, come out of hiding, right? But when you come out of hiding, look at this energy. This almost reminds me, it's like, this is the Queen of Pentacles, who is abundant and mothering. It's very earthly energy. But look at her stance. It's like, it's almost like kind of a nagging mom, or like she's like really in your face. So it's almost like you're coming out of the Hermit energy back onto the scene. Ooh, my earring just fell out of my ear. That's so strange. Well, I guess it's not strange because I didn't put a backing in it, but it's weird too because I didn't put a backing in it and I knew somehow, it's like, oh, this is probably gonna fall out of my ear. I just didn't think it would happen on camera. Anyway, you're coming back out onto the scene, but it's almost like, what do you have to show me? What do you have to show me that's going to impress me? Because I'm not impressed by anything. I'm feeling very, mind your P's and Q's. But it's like directed towards me as outside of you, Sag, even though I have Sag rising. But if I'm the person on the outside of you, I'm feeling a little defensive. Like maybe you have gone through your dark night of the soul. You're seeing what you want to change about your life. Then you may be expecting everyone else to kind of fall in line. And they're just on a different wavelength or a different path than you. They're not capable, perhaps, of living up to certain expectation that you may have. That's a very rude awakening, right? When we've up-leveled ourselves spiritually and then you realize not everyone can come with you because they're on their own journey. And I think the important thing to realize is that we don't want to be judgmental about it. We don't need to entertain it. Like if you know that truck that just went by, if you're thinking about going out drinking or whatever it was, a lot of times when people have spiritual awakenings, they stop drinking. And I was just talking about this last night with a friend. They stop drinking alcohol because it messes with their equilibrium, right? Their equilibrium. It messes with their body chemistry. And they just don't have a taste for it anymore or a tolerance for it anymore. So if you have kind of up-leveled and you used to go out drinking with your friends every Thursday night, and now you're just like, I can go out with them, but I don't want to drink. But then you're the sober one. I haven't had a drink in like 4 years, 3 years, 3 or 4 years. And that's not judging people that drink, but it's like, to be the only sober one in a group of people that's drinking, that's not the best situation. Like, even I can recognize that. Like, oh, you know, you're just kind of there, you know? So this could be happening to you in the future tense. It could be just like you having these revelations slowly but surely that I've kind of outgrown some social groups. I've outgrown some situations. May not have anything to do with social groups. Maybe it's just a mindset. Just like, I'm just tired of thinking that way. You know, what's this about, Spirit? 7 of Inspiration in the reverse, right? 7 of Inspiration, 7 of Wands can be a card of blocking. It's almost as if this had been closed and it's a struggle to open up. So in the reverse, that card suggests to me that you're unblocking, that you're trying to let stuff in, but it's difficult, right? Because it's like the walls, if you're not careful, the walls will close in and you'll find yourself on the other side of that. You'll find yourself on the dark side of that enlightenment that you worked so hard for, you know? What is the advice from Spirit? And this is where you have 4 cards. 9 of Materials, or the 9 of Pentacles. The Lovers in the reverse. Beautiful card. The 8 of Voices in the reverse, or the 8 of Swords, which is pretty heady, heavy, tense. And the 4 of Materials, 4 of Pentacles. It's interesting this 4 of Pentacles came out, because these 2 cards kind of seemingly work against one another, but I think it goes back to this idea of balance, that you may come out of this hermit energy in the future just saying, okay, I want to see what you got. What do you have to offer me? And opening up that door. But Spirit almost is saying here that, like, well, you know, temper what you give in return, right? Because maybe that was part of the lesson. Maybe you were an overgiver. In a workplace, I just heard, in a friendship group with your family, maybe you've been an overgiver. And so it's time to let other people come towards you. But you have to open up to it. You have to open up to it. But this is kind of saying, just keep a few pentacles to yourself. A few ideas, a few days off. You know, the next time you have a day off, don't jump to like help your friend move or edit somebody's paper or, you know, work on work that you're not getting paid for. Or, I don't know, I'll take it as it resonates. Basically putting time towards other people instead of yourself. And it's not selfish when you can just, you want to enjoy a day off and just have it be for you. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Materials is somebody, it's like independent, single lady cards. Divine feminine energy, but doesn't have to describe a woman. It simply describes this abundance, something that you garnered, that you gained and earned, and you being able to enjoy it. A little bit of a person of leisure, right? But with the Lovers card and the Ace of Voices both in reverse, this kind of talks to me about deliberating over a difficult choice that you had to make. The Lovers can represent, doesn't have to represent divine union, it can also represent choice, and that's how I see it today. You made a choice that you may have been completely overwhelmed by, stuck in your head about. You've made that decision. Spirit is showing me you've made that decision, and now you are trying to reap the rewards or the benefits of making that decision. What is that decision? What does that have to do with? Oh, 6 of Inspiration. Your name in big lights, bright lights. 6 of Inspiration is victory. It could also represent public recognition, winning an award or certificate. graduating from something, showing off a little bit of ego energy, but that's okay. In the 6, it's okay, because you're proud of yourself. There's something here that you made a tough decision, and you're really reaping the rewards. But Spirit is saying, okay, now your name is in bright lights, and you just have to make sure that you're keeping a little bit for yourself, because when we're standing up on that stage, we can become a little bit vulnerable to energies that may want to dissuade us from something or sway us in a certain direction that we have to make sure that we want to move into, right? The Muse of Materials. Don't stray from the path that you know is meant for you. That's your reading, Sagittarius. I hope that you resonated with it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. It really, really helps the channel to grow. Please hit the bell notification if you'd like to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Sag.